that the Libya-Alem division remains the only administrative unit in the whole of Cameroon completely abandoned by locals and civil servants. Libya-Alem, after the killing of dreaded separatist commander Field Marshal, remains a near graveyard. No son and daughter of Libya-Alem braved the odds to say welcome to the newly appointed senior divisional officer Ambam Patrick in Menji. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a top story tonight. Stay with us. It's a complete packet of news live from Douala, Cameroon. Thanks for making the right choice to be informed by Equinoxe Television. It is investigative reporting on their #1 television channel, Equinoxe. We call it the Primetime Newscast. We indicated that we were live from Douala, Cameroon's economic capital city, Equinoxe Central News Desk. We shall be starting on human interest with a report from the west region of Cameroon, where one person has died and two others severely wounded in a road accident that occurred in the early hours of today in the west region of Cameroon, precisely in Balua village, Tonga subdivision of the Ndé division, that's of the west region. As I indicated, local sources told Equinoxe Radio and Television that the accident occurred when a truck transporting sand to the Balua fell off the second bridge just after Nutse village, falling deep into the river. One of the three occupants of the truck on board died instantly, leaving two others critically wounded. The two were rushed to the hospital, according to local sources. It should also be recalled that the truck was heading to a site for the construction of the Balua Integrated Hospital, that's in Tonga subdivision of the Ndé division, west region of Cameroon. Locals of some neighborhoods of the city of Douala, notably Bepanda, Bonaprizo, New Bell, have indicated that one of the major causes of what they suffer as floods when it rains heavily in the city of Douala is the narrow manner in which drainage patterns are being constructed by companies in charge of constructing drainage patterns in major neighborhoods of the city of Douala. They were expressing their worries to our reporter Innocent Aze.
It's not just the careless construction of houses on drainage channels in most localities in Douala that results to deadly and destructive floods when it rains heavily. The small size of the drainage channels with the dumping of waste in them by locals are highlighted. This man says when the drain was being constructed, the inhabitants here complained of its small size, but a deaf ear was paid to them. One of the workers told me it is due to lack of finance. He mentioned the need to better the flood situation with the limited available resources. Even at that, the runoff still overflows and enters into homes with no barriers. During heavy rainfall, the runoff volume is high with inevitable damages. Victims are mostly persons who have poorly constructed houses and without an elevated foundation. With the life-threatening runoff common these days, precautionary measures are being taken, like erection of walls. Apart from this, I, for one, have informed those who are newcomers in this neighborhood to be vigilant and make sure their children are locked up inside whenever it rains. If not, they might be carried away by runoff. In most cases, these drainage channels are blocked by inhabitants who dumped their domestic waste inside, hoping it will be transported by runoff. Local administrative authorities in Douala 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 subdivisions have been blamed for not effectively sensitizing the population of their municipalities on this uncivic behavior, its environmental dangers and health risks.
The urban realities of the city of Douala, and the people think that the narrow construction of drainage patterns will in no way solve the recurrent problem of floodings in several neighborhoods, at least in neighborhoods where the drainage patterns exist. It should also be noted that in several other neighborhoods, the call for the construction of drainage patterns have been falling on deaf ears, and that has consequently caused enormous floodings and heavy waters entering into houses and destroying properties and even lives in some cases, like Mabanda in Bonaberi, places like Makepe Misoke in the Douala 5 municipality. But we still with the problems of the littoral region, moving from the Vuri division to the Nkam division, where the people of the Nkam division think that they are marginalized within the littoral region. They think that people who are benefiting more from the developmental projects sent to the littoral region are those of the Wuri, the Mungu, and the Sanaga Maritime. The statement came from a traditional ruler of the Nkam division, who is also a littoral regional councillor, taking part in the ongoing ordinary session of the littoral regional council for the 2022 financial year. The traditional ruler, who is chief of the Ngopenda clan of the Nkam division, used the opportunity talking to pressmen and women at the venue in the city of Douala to explain just how enclave his area and the rest of the Nkam division is. His wish and that of his brothers and sisters from the Nkam is that much developmental projects be directed to the enclaved Nkam division. Annabella takes us to the Nkam before back to the council session in Douala.
The Nkam division of the littoral region is labeled one of the most enclaved. The road network in Yabasi and its environs have been in deplorable states for several years now. Other social amenities like schools, potable water, hospitals are a luxury in the Nkam. His Majesty Pom Bonjong Golong is a paramount ruler of Canton Bajob Ndokpinda in the Nkam division. Present at the Regional Council for the Littoral, he expresses worries his division is lagging.
Il n'y a pas de route. Première chose, nous voulons avoir également pour nos communautés les infrastructures de base.
There are no roads. We also need basic infrastructure like health centers. But the greatest problem are lack of roads, and the local farmers too are suffering. They need assistance, they need fertilizers and also important pieces of advice.
Des engrais en les accompagnant, en leur donnant le mungo.
The Mungo is benefiting. They have assistance with the presence of the CDC, Soka Palm and others. They are better. The Sanaga Maritime too, they also benefit from agricultural assistance with Soka Palm. In the littoral region, the Nkam is so marginalized. The Nkam seems to be the most unfortunate division.
C'est l'appui qu'on doit donner aux paysans parce que dans tout le littoral, le Nkam est celui qui est un peu marginalisé.
Our people wish that agricultural production be boosted so that they can be properly organized and have other structures to accompany them.
Souhaite qu'effectivement cet encadrement agricole soit renforcé.
According to him, traditional rulers are first actors in the decentralization process as a follow-up development at the local level.
Traditional rulers in the regional council have a great role to play because they are the first step of development in our region, in our localities. We have to carry to the regional council the main problem of our compounds, our villages.
During the second ordinary council session for the littoral for the 2022 financial year, it was revealed that the local council support fund FECOM gave out a loan of 1 billion francs CFA, while the regional council's budget stands at about 3.2 billion francs CFA.
And we are going to use this money to build our actual offices, headquarters in Bonanjo. And also we are going to use partly this money to prepare the land we are going to use to build the new city of Douala and also the definite headquarters of the littoral region.
While presiding over the council session, the governor of the littoral region, Samuel Dodone Ifaha Deboa, cautioned that the money be used responsibly and in total accountability.
But at least there is peace in the littoral region, and the people think that these developmental projects, if validated by the central government or the local government, will be implemented hitch-free. It is a complete opposite as to what obtains in the northwest region of Cameroon, where co-regional councillors, or should I call them members of the regional assembly, are still working on seeing peace in towns and cities of the northwest region of Cameroon. 18 months into office, meeting in Bamenda to close the 7th ordinary session of the Northwest Regional Assembly, councillors indicated that they've so far been working on peace, and they are still hoping that peace comes back to the different villages so they can go on developmental-wise, practical or feasible development in terms of what the people want in their field. The report is compiled by Northwest Regional Chieftown correspondent Mbustila, is the lady from Bamenda.
The 7th ordinary session of the Northwest Regional Assembly has been concluded. For over 18 hours, the Assembly's members sat through the capacity building session with the resolve to work with the population to achieve the common goals of sustainable peace.
We are going to restructure a decentralized peacemaking, peace-building system in the region. We think it is time for us to speak the language of love, compassion, and empathy. What is most interesting is that we did not come here to give projects to the community. With a bottom-up approach, the community will tell us what their worries are, what projects they think are a priority. We will work with them to support them. Our support will be multifaceted.
Elected on December 6, 2020 and officially took office on January 22, 2021, the Northwest Regional Assembly members have been in office for about 18 months. For this period, the population is waiting to see the members deliver according to expectations, for it is now said that talking peace building is already taking too much time into their mandate.
Everything we gather is about seminars, training, and information on how things are going on the ground. Mr. President, I think we have had enough training. It is time that you should test us by giving us a means to be able to go and meet our people and exercise what you have trained us.
Honorable Dam Eremina, divisional representative from Gokutunja, says her division, reputed for the cultivation of rice, is fast losing the pride, and therefore it is time to rethink.
Really pleading with the youth that there is no house without problem. I am begging on our children, our brothers, our uncles, our fathers who are in the bushes, that they should lay down their arms and come so that we work together for the peace and development of our region.
As the clock ticks, the mandate of the Pioneer Regional Assembly members of the Northwest region draws to its end, and therefore the time is now for the members to work towards how they will want to be remembered. Will they therefore want to be remembered for talking peace or working towards achieving peace? The ball is in their courts.
Sure, Mbustela, it's a question you and I cannot answer, but you probably have been wondering what has become of the Libialem division in the southwest region of Cameroon after the killing of dreaded separatist self-styled General Field Marshal of the Libialem division. The situation is not getting any better or hasn't changed for the better. The proof is that no son and daughter of the Libialem division could brave the security challenges to come say welcome to the newly appointed senior divisional officer for the Libialem division, Amban Patrick, during his installation in the Libialem divisional chief town of Menji. It was completely deserted. Just soldiers and administrative officials who accompany Governor Bernard Okalia Bilai on military helicopter from the southwest regional chief town Buya could be seen at the ceremonial ground, not the ceremonial ground, but the SGO's office in Menji. The ceremonial ground has been taken hostage by grass, and the senior administrative officer of the Southwest region, the governor, was angry, very bitter, and called on sons and daughters of the Libialem to consider going back. He said Libialem is the only administrative unit in Cameroon that has been completely abandoned by civil servants and the local population. Derek Jato.
Southwest Governor Benato Kaliabilai flown down to Menji, chief town of Libialem division, for the installation of the new senior divisional officer for the said division. This is the ceremonial grandstand, now occupied by vegetation. There is nobody here, and the installation of Ambang Fabian car will take place instead at the esplanade of the SDO's office.
Population of Libialem, in implementation of the decree that has just been read to you, this is your SDO, Mr. Senior Divisional Officer Ambang Fabian K. Take command.
Not a single civilian attended the ceremony or even seen anywhere in town. To those representing Libialem in places, this is the time to rescue their division.
The politicians, those who are doing politics or occupying function on behalf of the people of Libialem, they should come back to assist the administration. Because no matter the courage and the engagement of the SDO and his collaborator forces of law and order, they can't do anything without the population.
The chief executive officer of the Southwest region will also accuse the elite of this land, especially those abroad, to have used the knowledge the BLM gave them to destroy their own division.
Talking of those who are in the diaspora, they have doctor this, PhD. If they didn't go to school here, they would have been claiming the title of doctors, I don't know. So why can they be so wicked towards the younger generations?
This present picture of the BLM division cannot be seen elsewhere in the entire country, the Southwest governor added.
This is, I think, the only case in the Republic where a whole division has been abandoned because the civil servants, the population, have been traumatized. It is unbelievable. In the other localities, people are dreaming to have such an instrument of development, a whole division as an administrative unit. Please, I'm here in Menji, I'm inviting the population of Libialem to come back to their home and to put a final full stop.
Because the authorities sent here cannot operate and succeed on their own.
A courageous governor, Bernard Okaliabilai, installing or commissioning a courageous Ambang Fabian, who before his new task was divisional officer for Alo subdivision, still in the Libialem division. He's been raised to the rank of the senior administrative officer of the entire Libialem division. The governor is calling on the sons and daughters of Libialem to do theirs, that is coming back to build Libialem better. Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming back to the city of Douala, but to take you into markets of the city of Douala, which are already being flooded with didactic materials as preparatives for the back to school 2022-2023 academic year kickstart. And to ensure its smooth start, members of the National Union of Booksellers and Stationaries have met today in the city of Douala to discuss some of their limitations. Lucy Liengo Esie has details in the following report.
In preparation of the 2021-2022 academic year, didactic materials like textbooks can already be spotted in most markets and bookshops visited. As a means to ensure the smooth start of the year, members of the National Union of Booksellers and Stationers of Cameroon, popularly known in French as Sinalipa, have met in Douala Thursday 3rd of August to discuss on some of the limitations affecting the textbook sector.
The objective of this meeting today is first of all to see that this reopening period of 2022 goes without problems. What do we mean by problems? The problems of schools selling books, because we have been fighting on that things the government approved because it's a trade union. So since since our bureau, we have been fighting for that. And thanks to the fight, the government last year in 2021 adopted, the General Assembly adopted laws prohibiting the selling of books in school.
With the continuous increase in prices of basic commodities, textbook sellers also complain.
With the recent rise in prices, and the low prices that we have on books, with the inflation already outside, we cannot cope.
According to the members of the National Union of Booksellers and Stationers, schools have become storekeepers of textbooks, discouraging sales in their sector.
As we are talking like this, there are already some that we have taken to court, and it is finable. That's imprisonable between 1 to 5 years with a fine. So we need to sensitize schools, those who are still selling, the teachers, that they are there to teach students and not to sell books.
As a result of this, they encourage parents to buy books directly from bookshops.
With Lucy Liangu is here. Without a transition, we take you to sport, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about the ongoing Commonwealth of Nations Games in Birmingham, that's in England, to say that Team Cameroon won its first medal at the Commonwealth Games today. Ngaje Nyabeyon Jr. picked up a gold medal in the men's 109 kilograms weightlifting competition. For the first time in Birmingham, the anthem of Cameroon was heard. After the victory, the president of the Cameroon's Olympic and Sports Committee, Colonel Hamaka Kabamalboum, congratulated Ngaja Nyabenyon Jr. after his brilliant victory. Cameroon's Emmanuel Esseme recorded the fastest time of the that is 10.8 to qualify for the men's 100 meters. In athletics, meanwhile, Team Cameroon's Aris Sofina will be present for the bronze finals in the 78 kilograms judo competition, according to information sent by sportsman Smart Njikankepo. And on to something else, the Olympic selection of Cameroon have ended their preparations ahead of the Islamic Solidarity Games. The team, led by Guy Fortin, have been in camp for over 2 weeks, during which they had 2 warm-up matches. We have details with Smart Jikan Gabriel.
Match between the under-23 Lions and Elite One side, IS Fortuna, was the last for the boys of Guy Fortune, who are warming up to participate in the Islamic Solidarity Games. For over 2 weeks now, the under-23 Lions have been going through intensive preparation ahead of the games that starts later this month. The first week of their preparation was mainly focused on accuracy in passing of the ball possession, and fitness exercises. Week 2 of the training saw the Olympic team engaging in warm-up matches. In their first warm-up game against one of the best Elite One clubs during the just ended season, Apaches of Mfu, the Olympic team defeated them by 3-1. Days later, the unfortunate quarterfinalist of this year's Cameroon Cup race, IS Fortuna, was the opponent of the Olympic team. It was a difficult game that saw the boys of Guy Fortune winning with a slim goal margin of 1-0. It is the first time the Olympic team is having such a preparation ahead of a major tournament. At the Islamic Solidarity Games, the Olympic team will face up with the Olympic selections of Senegal, Algeria and Turkey. The aim of the Olympic team, led by Guy Fortune, is to do better than the quarterfinal stage they attained during the 2018 edition of the Games under the guidance of Richard Towa. The Islamic Solidarity Games will start on August 9 to rumble off on August 18, 2022 in Konya, Turkey.
Good luck to the guys of Guy Fortune. Simanji Kangwebe indicated that it is the first time they are having such an intensive camping ahead of the Islamic Solidarity Games. Ladies and gentlemen, that's where we draw curtains for this edition of the news on your #1 television channel, Equinoxe. Thank you very much for your keen attention. We'll also sustain the company of interesting programs on Equinoxe. Shortly after this, you're going to be having Equinoxe Soir from Yaoundé, Cameroon. The news in the French language would be at 8 p.m. from Douala. I'm going to be back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. God willing.